The Indians take on the Rangers, 2:05 Eastern first pitch in Texas. Cleveland's minus 130, totals at 9. We saw a 10-cent move toward Cleveland in the early wagering. We also saw movement upward on the total, half a run. So once again, Cleveland minus 130, totals at 9. 53% of the consensus is leaning toward Texas. 58% shaded toward the over. Right now, Texas is plus 120 on the money line. Cleveland plus 130 on the run line. We have Bieber for the Indians, Minor for the Rangers. Minor comes into this game with a 6-4 record and a 2.63 ERA. The Rangers are also third in home scoring, 25-14 at home, straight up. And when it comes to the total, Texas is also 20-15 to the over in Arlington. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Texas plus 1.5, getting the job done on the run line as the official home underdog in the over 9 runs in that game. Welcome to the show. We went 2-1-1 in our Patreon picks yesterday. Patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, next game. Rockies, Diamondbacks, 3:40 Eastern, first pitch in Arizona. All starts Eastern Standard Time on this program. Arizona's minus 165, totals at 9. We did see a 15-cent move toward Arizona. We also saw movement downward on the total, half a run. Once again, the Diamondbacks are minus 165, totals at 9. 61% are leaning Diamondbacks, 69% shaded toward the over. Right now, Colorado's plus 150 on the money line. Arizona plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Robbie Ray for Arizona, Jeff Hoffman for Colorado. Now, if you like Colorado in this matchup here, they're perfect 7-0 in their last 7 ball games taking on the Diamondbacks. Colorado's also very good when it comes to the number, when it comes to the run line. They're 23-13 against the spread away from home. Of course, when I refer to the spread, ATS covering the number, I'm referring to the run line. So once again, Colorado 23-13 against the spread away from home. And when it comes to the total, Arizona's 20-12 to the under on their home field. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward another dog in this one. Give me the Rockies plus 1.5 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Phillies, Nationals, 7:05 Washington. No line currently posted for this game. We have Pivetta for the Phils, Eric Fetty for the Nats. Fetty's 1-1 with a 3.68 ERA. Meanwhile, Nick Pivetta on the other side for the Phils, 5.00 ERA. And when it comes to this Washington team, they've been winners in 4 out of their last 5 at home. They're also 5th in Major League Baseball in striking batters out on average per game. So with all that in mind, even though we have no line for this game, I'm going to lean Washington, winning this one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Astros, Yankees, 7:05 New York. Once again, no line posted for this game. We have Framer Valdez for the Astros, Chad Green for the Yankees. Now, seems like a pretty advantageous matchup for Houston backers, but keep in mind, Houston's been riddled by injuries, just a ton of injuries on that team. They've also lost their last 4 straight, so they are feeling the ill effects of those injuries. Now, the Yankees on the other side, they're on a 5-game winning streak, 5-0 in their last 5. They're also 25-13 at Yankee Stadium this year. The Yankees are also 4th in scoring and 2nd in hits allowed at home. Give me the Yankees winning that one outright for some money line cash. Next game, Angels, Blue Jays, 7:07 Toronto. The Angels are minus 155, totals at 10. We did see a nickel move toward the Angels and movement downward on the total, half a run. Once again, the Angels are minus 155, totals at 10. 66% are leaning Angels, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Blue Jays are plus 140 on the money line. Angels plus $1 on the run line. We have Suarez for the Angels, Richard for the Blue Jays. Richard's 0-3 with a 7.52 ERA. The Blue Jays also ranked dead last in hits in Major League Baseball. They're also 22 games under 500, just 26-48 overall for the year, and they are currently on a 7-game losing streak at home, 0-7 in their last 7 in Toronto. Now, total-wise, the Angels are 80% to the under, taking on teams averaging 3.9 to 4.2 runs per contest. Pretty chalky lean on the sides in this one. I'm going to lean Angels minus 155 and the under 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Marlins, Cardinals, 7:15 St. Louis. The Cards are minus 155, totals at 8. We saw pretty good two-way action on the money line there. Not a whole lot of movement in the early wagering, although we did see some movement downward on the total, a half a run. So once again, St. Louis minus 155, totals at 8 flat. 68% are leaning Cardinals, 66% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Marlins are plus 145 on the money line. St. Louis plus $1.45 on the run line. We have Adam Wainwright for the Cards. Zach Gallen making his first start for the Fish. Going to be tough sledding for him. Miami's 20 games under 500 thus far, 26 and 46 overall for the year. They've also won just 13 out of 34 away from home. They rank dead last in scoring on average per game. Give me the Cardinals minus 155 and the under 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Mets, Cubs, 8:05 Wrigley Field, Chicago. The Cubbies are minus 130. No line currently posted on the total as of yet. That's pretty indicative of the way things are at Wrigley Field. Typically, you won't see a line on the total posted until about 2 hours before first pitch, just because of the fluctuating weather conditions out there in Chicago. But anyway, the Cubbies, once again, minus 130. No line on the total as of yet. There was a 10-cent fade of the Cubs in the early wagering, by the way, if you're interested. 66% of the consensus is leaning towards Chicago. Meanwhile, they have Tyler Chatwood slated on the bump as their probable for today. For the Mets, they have Walter Lockett projected on the bump for them. Now, Tyler Chatwood's 3-1 with a 3.60 ERA for the year. Chicago ranks 3rd in walks, 6th in runs allowed. Give me Chicago minus 130, getting the job done for some money line cash. Next matchup, Reds, Brewers, 8:10 Milwaukee. The Brewers are minus 145, totals 9.5. We did see a nickel move toward the Brewers and movement upward on the total, half a run. Once again, Milwaukee's minus 145, totals 9.5. 56% are leaning Milwaukee, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Reds are plus 135 on the money line. Milwaukee plus $1.30 on the run line. We have Nelson for the Brewers, Tanner Roark for the Reds. Roark, although he hasn't been setting the world on fire record-wise, he does come into this game with a 3.63 ERA. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nelson's 0-1 with a 10.29 ERA for the Brewers. Now, Cincinnati ranks 2nd in runs allowed on the road. They're also 3rd in striking batters out on the road as well. The Reds are 22 and 14 ATS on the road. They've also been winners in 4 out of their last 5 straight up at any location. Now, total-wise, Cincinnati, amazing run here. 14 and 1 to the under in their last 15. Give me the Reds plus 1.5 and the under 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Twins, Royals, 8:15 Kansas City. No real surprises here. The Twins are minus 200, totals at 9.5. We did see a 20-cent move toward the Twins and movement upward on the total, half a run. Once again, Minnesota minus 200, total 9.5. 70% are leaning toward Minnesota, 55% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Royals are plus 170 on the money line. Minnesota minus $1.15 on the run line. We have Jake Odorizzi for the Twins, Glenn Sparkman for the Royals. Odorizzi's 10-2 thus far with a 2.24 ERA. Minnesota 1st in scoring, 1st in road hits. Kansas City, they are 24 games under 500. Just 25 and 49 overall for the year. When it comes to the total, this is pretty alarming here. Minnesota 26 and 10 to the over when traveling. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Minnesota Twins minus 1.5, getting the job done on the run line, and the over 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Oakland Athletics, 10:07 Oakland. The Rays are minus 110, totals at 8. We did see a nickel move toward Tampa Bay in the early wagering. We also saw movement downward on the total, half a run. So once again, Tampa Bay's minus 110 right now, totals at 8 flat. 51% are leaning Rays, 52% shaded toward the over. Right now, the A's are plus $1 on the money line at home. Tampa Bay plus 150, laying the 1.5. Now we have Charlie Morton slated on the bump for the Rays. Frankie Montas for the Athletics. Hell of a pitcher's duel here. Montas is 9-2 with a 2.85 ERA for Oakland. Meanwhile, Charlie Morton on the other side, he's 8-1 with a 2.37 ERA for the Rays. Going to be a tough one to cap here. I just want you to keep in mind that Tampa Bay is 20th in road scoring. Meanwhile, Oakland on the other side, they are 9th in runs allowed at home. So very, very difficult to score against Oakland in Oakland. Tampa Bay kind of behind the 8 ball already, not producing many runs when traveling. Once again, Tampa Bay 20th in road scoring, Oakland 9th in runs allowed at home. Now total-wise, Tampa Bay 24-12 to the under away from home. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the A's plus $1 and the under 8 runs in that game.